Hi there, I'm Dr. Carol, and thanks for watching. I love answering your questions. Not long ago, a young lady reached out to me. She said, Dr. Carol, I have a great husband. He provides for me, he's honest and kind, he's a leader in our church, but he doesn't care for me intimately. He's on medication for depression, and I know this numbs him, but there are still two people in this relationship. I hate having to ask him to love me. I feel so worthless and needy. Am I not attractive enough? I just want him to want me. I hate this about me right now. What can I do? Well, Janice, can I call you Janice? God built very legitimate, real needs into our hearts. Especially as women, those needs include connection and intimacy and love. We want to be wanted. That's normal. This is probably much more than just a lack of physical intimacy with your husband. You're probably missing the emotional and spiritual intimacy with him as well. That's the way God designed a marriage, and when those are missing, it's normal to feel lonely. You recognize that your husband is struggling with depression. Both the illness and the medication involved can limit his ability to connect. That may be a biochemical issue. There may be other medical issues involved, other illnesses or stress. It's hard to know whether depression is the whole picture, but it certainly is an important part. So what can you do in this kind of situation? I have 3 suggestions. First of all, remember that this is not about you. It may feel as though it is. Your head may even recognize that this isn't really about you, but your heart needs to understand it. Choose to believe that your value, your self-worth, your beauty, who you are as a woman, all that comes from God, not from your husband. Take the time to allow that truth to fill your heart. Choose to believe that. Second, learn to feed yourself. Our body has legitimate needs for nourishment. So does our spirit, our soul, our emotions, our mind, the inner part of our being. You don't manufacture that soul nourishment, just like you don't create physical food out of nothing. God provides that. But you are responsible to decide the kind of nourishment you need and to find healthy ways to take that into your being. That may look like spending time with other women in groups, maybe at your church. That may involve spending time in nature, maybe books, podcasts, other programs, uplifting, encouraging material. It includes spending time alone in God's presence and allowing Him to fill you. Third, invest in the relationship with your husband. It's possible he needs you now more than ever. If so, you may need to stretch, you may need to sacrifice a bit. And that's part of what happens in a marriage if that's the case. I do want to put in one little word. If pornography is an issue, I suggest xxxchurch.com, xxxchurch.com. You'll find some help there for both you and your husband if that's a factor. But through his depression, draw him out. Make your heart a safe place for him to work through whatever it is he's dealing with. Draw him close to you. You may be the best support he needs right now. Pray that God gives you the strength to do that. And for your own heart, don't expect your husband to meet the needs that only God can. God can be your husband, whether you're married or not. Spend time in God's presence, allowing Him to minister to you and fill your heart in the way that only He can. And I pray He will. I love answering questions. If you have a question or a comment, you can write to me too. Go to drcarolministries.com/contact us. You can send me a confidential message. I read those myself. I'll respond personally, and I may be able to answer your question in an upcoming video just like this. Until next time, may God richly bless you. Now go and live well.